We're now going to have a bit of a chat with Hugh Rundle, who's the current president of VALA, which sounds to me like a pretty important position.
It's very important, Corin. I'm a very important person. It's a great role, and it's really exciting to be VALA president in a conference year.
Cool. You don't get a motorcade or anything?
Unfortunately, I don't. I was hoping to get some epaulets and maybe some security detail, but the budget couldn't quite stretch that far.
Well, we do live in challenging times.
Austerity, you understand.
Indeed. So, seriously, how are you feeling so far about the conference? I mean, we're about half a day in now. We've had a pretty powerful beginning with the keynote. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling really great. We had a fantastic opening keynote from David Lankes, who really opened very well with a big challenge for all of us to step up and change the world, live up to our librarian values. So that was a really energizing kind of start. I spent the rest of the morning in the L-plate sessions, which were sort of quick 15-minute intros to linked open data and digital preservation and research data management. And Bart gave us all a wonderful VALA A to Z session. It's the only session I've ever seen where it was actually done using a lottery system where he would pull the ball out of the lottery wheel, and that would determine which fact he told us about. It was quite interesting to behold.
It's a very novel way of actually running a session.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to have to change the way I run my paper tomorrow.
I might do that with my business planning. So, you talked a wee bit about David this morning, the opening keynote address, and as I've said before, I think it was a really powerful way to start. What in particular jumped out for you about that?
Well, David's certainly known as being a bit of a provocateur, but I was really pleased that he's really highlighted that the role we play as librarians, and not that we should be big noting ourselves, but we should really recognise that the value in the library is mostly around the people who are providing the services and connecting with the communities using those libraries. And I was really pleased also that he took some time to talk about our ethical framework and our responsibilities, I guess. So, sort of telling us that what we do is really useful and wonderful, but at the same time reminding us that we have a responsibility to live up to those values and live up to the high expectations we should have for ourselves and our profession.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's one of the interesting things about David's message, and I've heard him do it before as well, is that one around, you've chosen to be a librarian, and there is a set of ideals and ethics around that, and also puts a challenge out to actually live up to some of those things, to move beyond a context of I work for this organisation and I deliver this, to move into a space of there are some things that we stand for as a profession which actually sit across that, and part of our responsibility is to deliver those into the organisation that we're working in.
Yeah, and I think it's very powerful to express things as a new idea, but sort of make the point that, look, just because we're doing new things and we're trying new ideas and moving into the future, that's not an excuse to let go of all of our traditional ethics and our traditional values and why we do things. It's quite the opposite, actually. Though all those things are becoming more and more important as the world becomes a more kind of fraught place.
Cool. So let's talk about VALA and being the president right now. What are the sort of things that are, besides a conference, what are the sorts of things that are going on for VALA? What are the key things that VALA's thinking about?
Well, obviously the conference has taken up a lot of our energy for the last year or so, but once this week is over, we'll certainly be assessing what's happened at the conference, but we've got, I think David and Evie were talking about this earlier, we've got a large number of conference papers from past conferences, and whilst we do have those in a reasonable state, we're not 100% happy with the sort of discoverability of those and how they're housed. So we're really going to be working on some ideas for how we can improve that. And 2018 will be our 40th anniversary, so our next conference is going to be very special. We haven't quite worked out how it's going to be special yet, other than being our 40th anniversary. But certainly, we'd like to make a bit of a fuss about that. And I'm not sure how that will look yet, but certainly we've been thinking very hard. I mean, we did make some changes with the conference this year in terms of moving the All Plate sessions into the main days of the conference. We've introduced a brand new ticketing system, and with that, a new membership model, and that's. To be honest, that's been a bit of an experiment. We really had no way of knowing what would happen until we tried it. So we'll be looking at that and how we can make sure that VALA is a sustainable organisation, but also that we're providing a real service and lots of value to our members and the VALA community.
So it sounds like, to me, like having talked with Eb and David and now you, that if you're thinking ahead to when you might make your next play to come to a conference, the next VALA conference, being the 40th birthday, might be the one to make a play for.
Well, indeed, possibly.
Be a good party. Surely. So let's just touch really quickly on professionalism. Why do you choose to be involved?
Excellent question. Look, I think VALA is one of the most exciting things to be involved in librarianship, certainly in Australia. It's about libraries, technology in the future. Why would I not be involved? I think you learn an incredible amount getting involved in organisations like VALA and Lianza and ALIA and all of these professional groups about how to work with people, how to find connections to sort of our neighbour professions, if you want to think about it like that. How to run a conference, and I've met an enormous array of very interesting people doing really fascinating things, and I've learned about lots of concepts that I'd never heard of. So for me, being on the VALA committee really is just another learning experience, and it gives me an excuse to be in contact with other library professionals who are really engaged in what they're doing and trying exciting ideas. So it's kind of a no-brainer, really.
Cool. And so you would advocate for others to also be involved?
I think everybody should get involved in any way they can. And look, not everybody has the time to be a committee member, but there's lots of ways you can get involved in conferences and in doing talks and even just attending events. It's really valuable and helps us all, be better at what we do.
And so if somebody did want to get involved, who do they talk to?
Well, they can find me around the conference, of course, or any of the people with the pink lanyards, and we'll be happy to speak to them about perhaps joining the committee next year or getting involved in some of our other events. You can go to our website as well, vala.org.au, and find our contact details there. But we're certainly interested in hearing from new faces.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, Hugh. Thanks again for being involved with VALA and helping to put this fantastic conference on. And look forward to the next couple of days.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for the interview.
Cool. Thank you.